to lose by 2 points
No,
to City.
no,
Where's
not
City
City.
going to drop? They've got City
Sorry,
City fans,
City may have two
and
games
we've
in
got
hand.
half. We've one left, one in hand now.
City has
So
got,
one, they're only
yeah,
they're 1 point behind with a game in hand.
but the
5 to
goal
play, and
difference
we've got
is
hard.
amazing. The goal difference
But
that you've
they
got.
ate a big chunk of that
Yeah.
yesterday, and they've still got a game in hand. So assuming that they win all of that, goal difference is probably in our favour still, but it may not be.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry guys.
We were
just talking about.
we were discussing Arsenal.
Yeah,
Okay,
the Premier
you can
League.
keep this in. I mean, I'm very
Why
happy.
not? Why not? See,
Come on, Gunners!
there you go. I'm here with someone, Calvin Tucker from the Morning Star. He's the campaigns manager for the Morning Star as well, and I'm really proud to be having this moment to talk to someone who's a journalist. I'll be correct in saying something like that, won't I?
I write for the paper features, but my main role is running the campaigning side of the paper.
Okay, and for me, it's having an interest in things like the media, print media, that sort of stuff. It's good to actually sit down with someone and discuss things with them. And I'm here at the Black Workers Conference at the TC Congress House in central London. And yeah, I'm just taking a little bit of time out. I want to meet some of the Fringe guys here. Hello, how's it going? You alright? And of course, yes, flirt a little bit. But moving on a little from that, tell me a little bit about yourself. What made you get into the Morning Star?
I've worked for the Morning Star for about 10 years. I've always supported, sold, promoted the Morning Star ever since I was a teenager. And I was in between jobs, and I was asked to come in and do a project, and ended up quite surprisingly staying. So that's been, we don't do it for the money, I can assure you, at the Morning Star.
I get that. It is definitely a passion that you guys
absolutely,
do.
yeah.
And how you've, over the last 10 years, because we went through the pandemic, cost of living crisis, so on and so forth, how has the Morning Star continued to thrive in many aspects? Because you guys are known in some aspects to be more on the far left, so more of a fringe sort of newspaper compared to some of the other newspapers which are out there, which are more mainstream. Because I don't see you guys selling in newsagents.
Our paper is available in all good newsagents, and if it's not in your local newsagent, you simply ask the boss there to provide it, and they'll set that up. So you can buy it from Menzies, from all over the place. But the biggest change in terms of our circulation over the last 10 years is a partial transition towards what we call the e-edition.
Okay.
So that is basically a PDF of the paper online, and that's £20 a month, and that includes full access to the website. We make a number of articles available free online. Once you've used up that quota, then unfortunately we have to charge like a lot of other news outlets.
Well, it is an ongoing concern in terms of the business, so you have to make sure that money is coming in to stay afloat. See a bit of capitalism there for you guys out there thinking that they're all just communists.
Well, exactly. Just to pick up on what is mainstream, I'd actually say that the Morning Star is probably, in many respects, more mainstream than the so-called mainstream media. In other words, we're the newspaper that got it right on the Iraq War. Yeah. We're the newspaper, at least to my mind, that's got it right on Palestine, and that's got it right on all the other imperial wars of aggression that we've seen over the last 20 or 30 years. And I also believe that we're absolutely bang in the centre of public opinion on the key domestic issues of the day: the National Health Service, education, nationalisation. We've just had Keir Starmer announce at least a part nationalisation of rail, but not the rolling stock. Of course, our paper, our editorial position is to nationalise the whole of rail, and not just rail, all the big utility companies, gas, electricity, water and so on, because we believe that the public are right in seeing that privatisation has been an absolute disastrous failure, both in terms of the quality of the services provided, failure for the workers employed, and most importantly, a failure for the general public.
I agree, and I have to wholeheartedly agree on that one there, because one of the big factors behind it has been the regulators failing in terms of the powers that they've got to apply the powers and actually hold these companies to account. The regulators know that they had to do that and didn't do it, and this is why we're in the situation that we're in now. But again, I'm getting a little bit political here, and I shouldn't be going down that road. But tell me a little bit more about how you feel the Morning Star is still serving the people at this moment in time, because you have got a lot of things right.
Well, I mean, we're completely unique, and we're unique for two main reasons. First of all, we're the only socialist daily paper in Britain. In fact, we're the only English language socialist daily paper in the whole world. And secondly, we have a unique ownership structure. So we're owned by our readers. And you can buy shares in the Morning Star. However many shares you buy, you'll only get one vote. So we're a genuine people's shareholding democracy. Our other owners are the trade union movement. So we have almost all the national trade unions affiliated to the Morning Star, and they have seats on our management committee alongside management committee members who are elected by the ordinary shareholders of the paper. So that's the two key differences that separate the Morning Star from the rest of the print media. Fundamentally, we print the stories that the rest of the media choose to ignore, and we often find that over the course of the next few months or years, that where the Morning Star led, the public opinion and the rest of the printed press catch up. Not on every issue, though, of course.
No.
On issues of trade union rights, on some issues on international policy, we will continue to plough a lonely furrow in terms of the media, but a furrow that gets bigger and bigger as more and more people are attracted to our editorial position.
The thing that I've always found fascinating in terms of the left, now again, it's only recent times have we seen parts of the right, but more centre of the right, take on people from underrepresented backgrounds. So whether it's Ian Dale from LBC, or whether you're looking at even the Prime Minister being Rishi Sunak, coming from an Asian background. But the left has always had that sort of open arms towards embracing more people from underrepresented backgrounds like myself, or people from a black background. How do you feel at this moment in time with general overview with what's going on in the political world? We're here at the Black Workers Conference. What I'm trying to say is, how do you feel in terms of underrepresented backgrounds within the left now? Do you feel that they're still being adequately represented?
I suppose it depends how you define the left and what parts of the left you're looking at. Certainly from the Morning Star tradition, it's always been an anti-colonial paper, an anti-imperialist paper, and hence it's attracted support from, in particular, descendants of residents of the British Empire.
Yeah.
So, for example, this is Black Workers Conference here at the TUC. One of the most famous black workers, Claudia Jones, who set up the Notting Hill Carnival. Of course, a communist and a big supporter of the Morning Star.
Yeah.
So the Morning Star's always had that relationship with ethnic minorities in Britain, in particular with the Caribbean community, the Indian community, and then later the Pakistani, the Bengali community, and so on.
Yeah.
And we took what might be considered a fringe position, as you put it earlier, in terms of supporting racial equality, when many parts of the trade union movement and the official labour movement were almost wholly white, where there were racist cultures still existing within the left. And the Morning Star took a position to support our comrades, our fellow workers, whatever their colour and creed is. So we're very proud of our record there. If we're talking about the Labour Party, I think it's a more mixed
it definitely
position when you look at that historically. And the Labour Party, of course, has never fully broken from British imperialism, and we can see this today still in terms of its slavish adherence under Keir Starmer to some of the the worst aspects of US foreign policy, and of course the ongoing genocide in Gaza.
Yeah, I mean, those are very hot topic issues, and we know that it is having an impact on. Because I gotta say, I'm a member of hands on the cards out, hands on the table. I am a member of the Labour Party, but I have seen within the Labour Party, from some of the meetings I've gone to, that there's a lot of members that want to ensure that there is a ceasefire, and there's a lot of members that are very, very keen to get a ceasefire going. But having said that, they also understand we're out of power. Labour is not in power at the moment. There's no decision making. Are they working it with, the Daily Mail readers just so they can get in and then maybe do something? I don't know. Honestly, and personally, it shouldn't stop a person from coming out and saying, no, we should be having a more high ground.
I would say, look, if the issue for Labour is electoral politics, if the issue is winning votes, all the opinion polls show absolutely overwhelming, massive majorities for a ceasefire, and now I believe also big majorities for stopping the arming Israel.
Yeah.
And so I don't think this is about winning votes. I think it's more to do with Keir Starmer's relationship with the United States and wanting to be seen as the US's number one loyal ally. What I would say to that is, though, when people are being murdered and slaughtered in their tens of thousands and a genocide is taking place, there should be no ifs, no buts, and anybody in the Labour movement, in the Labour Party, I would say anybody, any human being, needs to stand against that absolutely clearly and say ceasefire now, stop arming Israel, and let's have a just settlement of this conflict and a state for the Palestinians.
From my point of view, I know someone's going to come out and say, October 7th, yeah, but you forgot about October 5th. You forgot about all the atrocities that happened well beforehand. I'm not defending Hamas, because Hamas took the actions they took. Having said that, I'm not even going to justify what Hamas done. But, ultimately, if you keep poking someone, you keep reducing their rights, you keep, sooner or later, they will retaliate. And that's what's happening.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, an oppressed people under occupation have a right under international law to defend themselves.
And they are occupied.
They're occupied. We always hear Israel has a right to defend itself. When was the last time a British politician stood up on the television and said, Palestine has a right to defend itself?
I think it was George Galloway.
George Galloway. Now that's a position who represents, who is the sole MP of the Workers' Party of Britain, I believe it is. But what, but that...
I think Stephen Flynn also said that from the SNP as well.
Right.
I know where we're going with this, but that's my personal opinion. And at the end of the day, I will always say free Palestine, but down that way. Yeah. But I will also say
some great interruptions you get on an interview when you're at a conference.
Don't you just love it, though? Don't you just love it? And I'll keep in that.
Keep it in.
But and again, I know we're going to spiral away a little bit, but it has to be addressed, because when you look at people who support Palestinian movement, when you support freedom for Palestine, as much as Ben Shapiro would like to say that Israel left Gaza behind, he forgot to remind people that Israel were the ones that stuck up the 15 to 20 foot wall. Israel created the lack of freedom of movement, the sort of visa system to get in and out of Gaza, and into Israeli society. And as much as a lot of the mainstream right-wing media would like to say is 20%. That's a quota that they want to satisfy. Otherwise, it would be 25%. Why has it not gone from 20% to 25 or 30 or 60%? There is an issue, and we know what the issue is, and we know it needs to be sorted out. The reality is there is one group which is on the ground which has changed over the years, which is history group, Now, I was very thankful to have interviewed Peter Lerner, although he is an IDF Lieutenant General, or Lieutenant, whatever it was. He's a media guy, but he's also a history campaigns. You know, he's his face to them, and he's also campaigned to make sure that Palestinians within Israel had better workers' rights. And I think we have to also recognise that there are people on the ground that, even though they're Israelis, they don't support the Israeli government. They feel that they're authoritarian, dictatorial government that are abusing their power, reducing the rights of the citizens. And, you know, in some ways, Netanyahu did cause many of this to take place just so he could protect himself. And I think you guys took the right stance on that as well. But by taking the right stance on it, it kind of has a target. And we've seen that with quite a few of the Labour councillors that, you know, were within the London area, like Councillor Martin Abrams, who got suspended for more than 3 months from the Labour Party because he took that stance. Where do you feel that within the left to unite it so it's a common cause, or maybe I should rephrase the question. It seems as though many of the times the left seems to be fractured and split, and there seems to be this idea of the purest of the pure. How do you feel that the left, you know, what could unite the left into one common cause?
Look, what brings people together? If you think of your own lived experience, think of a local issue. If you need a zebra crossing on your street, if the local hospital's closing, the local school's substandard, there's no green spaces, youth clubs for people to play in, what do you actually do in practical terms? You talk to your friends, you talk to your neighbours, you bring the community together, and all of a sudden you find that people, whatever they believe that their ideological position might be, suddenly they're all united, and they actually work these issues out in the course of struggling to make a better world for themselves locally, nationally, or globally. And that really is how the left ought to behave. In other words, don't begin every political or industrial struggle from an ideological perspective where you try to cherry pick facts to fit them into your template. Actually go out there, talk to ordinary people, accept people as they are. The ordinary working class people are not perfect. They're not going to arrive at your meeting with zero reactionary ideas, perfect positions on every social issue, tick all the left-wing boxes. We live in a capitalist country. You know, people are individuals, they're complicated, people can hold contradictory ideas at the same time. What changes people is when they do unite with other people and they see that those campaigns, whether they're trade union, industrial struggles, whether they're local campaigns on the big international issues like Palestine today, where you can demonstrate a success and practical achievement that makes people's lives better, that's how people change their mind, and that's when they realise the importance of working together and of unity. And actually, if you look back over the history of the 20th century and now the 21st century left, well, in actual fact, all the different political currents have been partly right and partly wrong. So it's important that we're able sometimes to take a step back from that, learn from our errors as well as our successes, and try to build the maximum possible movement. That's the only way we change things. Because our opponents, the people who've got the wealth and the power, when it comes down to it, we can learn a few things from them about how to stick together for a common objective.
I hope you heard that. Learn. And I've always said the same thing too. What are they doing that's making them win and us lose? Well, we're not losing, we're highlighting issues. But it's good to learn from everyone and learn and understand what tactics that they're using. Don't dismiss anything because it's working for them. So we need to understand what needs to work for us, and then we can go about and win. But yeah, that's me again being a bit preachy and all the rest of that kind of stuff. That's that guy in me. If people want to get in contact with you and more importantly, either gain a little bit more information about the Morning Star, what they can do, how they can get involved. Because you've given some really great things. What can they do? How can they contact us?
Okay. I don't know if this works if I show it that way. That's my card, which is probably that's my name, Calvin Tucker. I'll give you my email.
Yeah.
Which is campaigns@peoples-press.com, and your viewers are just welcome to drop me a line. The Morning Star, which is here on our stall, it's available in newsagents. Sometimes it's shoved under sort of, Motorcycle Weekly or Fishing Monthly or something. So if you can't see it, ask the newsagent. If he doesn't, or she, if they don't stock it, ask them to have it in their shop.
Calvin, thank you for giving me this time. I know that although we're at the TEC conference, all I can say is it's very important to have conversations like this with everyone out there. Thank you so much for allowing me this time as well. And
Of course,
I really
thank you.
appreciate this.
Great questions. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thanks very much.
All right, guys, I'll catch up with you later.